Well, also, let's talk a little about working with you, if you don't mind. And when you do start with someone, how do you know where to start? If that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good question.
Mhm.
It's a good question because every one of us is different. Every single one of us lives a different life. Look, you and I are both moms, but I guarantee our lives are so completely different. It's insane. And so how as a coach do you take me and I would take you and how do like what approaches can we use to work with two completely separate people? Well, I developed them and they work beautifully as first. We got to teach you the power of your mindset. And
Mhm.
we've talked about this before in previous episodes is I offer a free 5-day training that shows you the power of your mindset for a reason because unless you are deep down into personal development, and many of us are not, unless you are someone who just submerges yourself in personal development, when I say to you, I'm going to change your life with the power of your brain, of your mind, you can look at me and laugh. And I don't take offense to that because that's just not how society teaches us, right? Society doesn't teach us that stuff. Society teaches us to kind of just like push it all down until we're at the point where we got to break and then we got to go seek mental health professionals to help us come out of that break. But what if we were able to really harness our emotions in our life and create this beautiful life with the power of our mindset? Well, let me teach you. That's exactly what I do. So that's why I do it for free because I think every single one of us on earth deserves to know that we have the tool, the number one tool to.
And and I think you have some mindset hacks that you could share with us.
Yeah, okay, one of them is this, Jill, and I've talked about this before too, is um I was depressed, and I'm always very transparent in my journey. I'm very transparent in my life. I will share anything with you, and so yeah, it can be good and bad too, right? But I'm very transparent. I was completely depressed, and I heard, which was God at that point, or whatever spiritual belief you believe in, my higher power said to me, figure a way out of this and then teach others. And little did I know at that point it was mindset. And so during that very depressing, traumatic time in my life was the biggest growth in my life. And so that's why I'm so passionate about helping people through the most challenging times, because oftentimes we'll come out of that and not even realize that time was meant for massive growth. And so then we just go into the next challenging situation, not learning either. And so we just continue this very disempowering pattern. And so I created this 3-step mindset hack. And this 3-step mindset hack is this: it's 3 words. It's grace, giving yourself grace, or giving another person grace. And so, what does that look like? Listen, someone cuts you off in traffic, give them grace. You have absolutely no idea what is going on in their life. They could be on their way to the hospital to, their wife or their sister or their loved one could be in a major car accident in the ICU. You have no idea. But what's the first thing we do? We
Throw
react.
our hands up. We want to hear a story? Today
Absolutely.
I was on taking my son to the orthopedic doctor this morning and I wasn't paying attention. The light turned red, so I was like that dope sitting there, right? I'm just like trying to figure out traffic and my son's like, "Mom, the woman just gave you the finger." I'm like, "She did?" Yeah. But angry. People get angry, right?
And so, we look at a study that was done back in 2020. It showed that only 14% of Americans are happy. That is why, because the first thing we do is we throw up the finger, right? And so, what my practice does, and this practice can be used hundreds, thousands of different ways, but one of them most commonly being in traffic. All right, so someone cuts you off or someone throws you the finger, right? And you're just going to give them grace because we have no idea. I mean, that woman that gave you the finger this morning could have just been told that she was going to get divorced, have no idea. And so, the first thing we got to do is give grace, and that's commonly to others. But let me tell
Mhm.
you where it kind of played in place in my depression journey was that I was giving myself grace because here I was depressed and I'm beating myself up. Well, how in the world do you come out of depression by beating yourself up about it? You don't. You don't. You just don't. So the second that I started to actually give myself grace, I was able to then realize, what do I need to get out of this? And so grace is number one. And second is gratitude. And listen, I could be here for hours talking about the power of gratitude. Any successful, happy, peaceful, inner peaceful person will tell you that gratitude is number one. We cannot and will not be blessed with more things to be grateful for if we cannot simply be grateful for what we have. And, someone like Steve Harvey, we all know who Steve Harvey is. He talks about how he was living in his car for 3 years, divorced, broke as heck, and he was still grateful. Well, is there a wonder why he is a multi-billionaire today? No, there's not, because he was grateful for what he had. We always have something to be grateful for. And if you're wondering, hey, what can I be grateful for? Well, you're alive and you're listening and you have the ears to listen to this podcast right now. That is just one. So a lot of times when clients come to me, they don't even know what to be grateful for. And so that's why like the free 5-day training is so essential place to start. And then the third part of the 3-step hack is celebration, because most of society does not celebrate anything other than birthdays and holidays. Birthdays and holidays. Well, there is life that happens 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 a year. And you're telling me we only have holidays and birthdays to celebrate? When we take the time to celebrate, hey, Jill, I'm celebrating that I'm here with you today.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
then going to make it so
Ditto.
that I'm motivated to do
Hmm.
the rest of my day, because I'm not stuck in this mindset that's not serving me. So
True.
it's a 3-step. And I say, listen, I think that the 3 steps can be done in 60 seconds. I've had clients tell me 45 seconds. I've had some clients be like, hey, I'm sitting here for 5
I
minutes.
got it. Hmm.
They can do it so quickly and it can get you out
Yep.
of like that.
Awesome.